Genesis chapter 15, Douay-Rheims Version. Now, when these things were done, the word of the Lord came to Abram by a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy protector, and thy reward exceedingly great. And Abram said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me? I shall go without children, and the son of the steward of my house is this Damascus Eliezer. And Abram added, But to me thou hast not given seed, and lo, thy servant born in my house shall be my heir. And immediately the word of the Lord came to him, saying, He shall not be thy heir, but he shall come out of thy bowels, him that thou have for thy heir. And he brought him forth abroad, and said to him, Look up to heaven and number the stars, if thou canst. And he said to him, So shall thy seed be. Abram believed God, and it was reputed to him unto justice. And he said to him, I am the Lord who brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees, to give thee this land, that thou mayest possess it. But he said, Lord God, whereby may I know that I shall possess it? And the Lord answered and said, Take me a cow of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years, a turtle also, and a pigeon. And he took all these and divided them in the midst, and laid the 2 pieces of each one against the other. But the birds he divided not. And the fowls came down upon the carcasses, and Abram drove them away. And when the sun was setting, a deep sleep fell over Abram, and a great darksome horror seized upon him. And it was said unto him, Know thou beforehand that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land not their own, and they shall bring them under the bondage, and afflict them 400 years. But I will judge the nation which they shall serve, and after this they shall come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and be buried in a good old age. And in the 4th generation they shall return hither, for as yet the iniquities of the Amorites are not at the full until this present time. And when the sun was set, there rose a dark mist, and there appeared a smoking furnace and a lamb of fire passing between those divisions. That day God made a covenant with Abram, saying, To thy seed will I give this land, from the river of Egypt even to the great river Euphrates. The Chinians and the Kenizzites, the Sedemites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Rephaim also, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. Genesis chapter 16, Douay-Rheims Version. Now Sarai, the wife of Abram, had brought forth no children, but having a handmaid, an Egyptian named Hagar. And she said to her husband, Behold, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. Go unto my handmaid. It may be I may have children at her at least. And when he agreed to her request, she took Hagar the Egyptian, her handmaid, 10 years after they first dwelt in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband to wife. And he went into her, but she, perceiving that she was with child, despised her mistress. And Sarai said to Abram, Thou dost unjustly with me. I gave my handmaid unto thy bosom, and she perceiveth herself with child, despiseth me. The Lord God be judge between me and thee. And Abram made answer and said to her, Behold, thy handmaid is in thy own power. Use her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai afflicted her, she ran away. And the angel of the Lord, having found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, which in the way of Sur to the desert, he said to her, Hagar, handmaid of the Sarai, where comest thou? and whereas thou goest? And she answered, I flee from the face of Sarai, my mistress. And the angel of the Lord said to her, Return to thy mistress, and humble thyself under her hand. And again he said, I will multiply thee and thy seed exceedingly, and it will not be numbered for multitude. And again, behold, that thou art with child, and that bring forth thy son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he shall be a wild man, his hand will be against all men, and all men's will be against his hand. He shall pitch his tents over against all the brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spoke unto her. For the Lord hath seen me, for she verify here, I have seen the hinder parts of him that seeth me. Therefore she called the well that liveth, and seeth me, then is between Cades and Bered. And Hagar brought forth a son, Abram, and who called his name Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar brought forth Ishmael.